Alright guys, my name is Shervin. Welcome to my channel. In this video, we're going to talk about the best savings account in Canada. Now, just a couple of months ago, I made a video about this where the Neo Financial Money account upped their interest rates to 2.25%, which at the time was the highest interest rate offered by any savings account across Canada. And that remained the case until just a couple of days ago when Scotiabank came out with an announcement that they're increasing the interest rate on their savings account to 2.5%. So basically you have an account which is free to own, doesn't have any minimum balance requirements, has unlimited free transactions, has unlimited free e-transfers, has 2.5% interest, which is the highest out of any savings account across Canada. And as well as that, it is insured by the CIBC, which is the Canadian Deposit Insurance Company, up to $100,000 per account. So case closed, the Scotiabank savings account is by far the best bank account across Canada, and we can end this video right here, right now, right? Well, here's the thing. I know a lot of you guys already have a savings account with one of the major banks in Canada. And a lot of you believe that you get a decent interest rate from the bank accounts that you already have with those banks. In fact, every once in a while, people write into me and say something along the lines of, well, actually, RBC is offering 4%. What are you talking about? And I completely understand where you guys are coming from because the way banks market their products, it is actually very confusing to find out exactly how much interest you're getting on the money that you have saved up. This is because a lot of the time they put front and center the amount that you will get as a sign-up bonus for the first couple of months, but not the actual interest that you're going to be getting from the bank going forward. And that's why I decided, you know what, I'm going to make a full comprehensive video where I go through all the major banks and outline exactly how much interest you're going to be getting from each of those accounts. Now, of course, these are the rates as of today. And if you're watching this video a couple of months in the future, some of these rates may have slightly changed, but it is still good to see how much the likes of RBC, Scotiabank, TD, CIBC, or BMO actually offer and how that compares against the likes of Scotiabank. And then by the end, you can see why I am such a big fan of the Scotiabank savings account over all these major bank accounts. Now, as always, if you're new to my channel and you enjoyed this video, make sure to smash the subscribe button down below and join the community. I make new videos about personal finance and investing on a regular basis. And by subscribing to the channel, you get to see all my new videos right as they come out. Also, as always, if you enjoyed the video and want to support me even more, then do me a favor and smash the like button down below for the YouTube algorithm. But alright, with all that said, let's get right into it. Now we are going to start with the BMO Savings Builder account, which offers a 0.5% base interest rate, but it'll go up to 1.9% interest as long as you increase the balance of your account by at least $200 every single month. This means that if you have, let's say, $1,000 in your account by the end of this month, you have to have at least $1,200 in your account by the end of next month in order to get 1.9% interest and not just 0.5% interest. Now, of course, the purpose of a savings account is to make sure you are saving on a regular basis. So the fact that this account gives you some sort of an incentive to make sure you are saving every single month is kind of cool. But that's it. Obviously, it's not ideal because there is going to be some months where an expense comes up and you have to withdraw some money from your account. And of course, this means that you are going to get a lower interest rate on your money for that month because of the fact that your balance didn't go up. Also, even when you are contributing regularly, you're still not getting anywhere near what Scotiabank offers with 2.5%. So really, any way you look at it, there's no reason to go for this account over the Scotiabank savings account. Again, I really like the idea of incentivizing regular saving. It's just that it's going to be a hassle and there's not even any upside because, again, Scotiabank is just offering more regardless. So interesting idea, but again, there's just no reason to go for this account. Now, next up, we have the RBC High Interest eSavings account. And if you go to the RBC website, you will be forgiven for thinking that this account actually gives you 4% interest. Because again, the idea is to lure you in as a customer with 4% interest rate, whereas that's not what you're actually going to be getting long term. Now that 4% figure is a sign-up bonus and you're going to be getting that for the first 3 months. But then after the first 90 days, the interest rate drops all the way down to 1.1%, which is less than half of what Scotiabank offers. So sure, for the first 3 months, this is a great account and it definitely does a lot better than Scotiabank. But after that, it's nowhere near as good. Now, of course, I don't blame RBC for being a little sneaky here and putting 4% front and center, and then you have to go and read the fine print to find out what the actual interest rate is. They're obviously trying to make their account look good, which is understandable, but then that's why I'm here, to let you guys know what's actually going on. So don't be fooled by that giant 4% sign. You're only actually getting 1.1% interest from this account. Now, next up, we have the ePremium eSavings account, and this one is kind of a weird one. And that's because for the first $10,000 that you have in your account, you actually don't get any interest whatsoever, which is really weird. And then for everything you have after the first $10,000, you get 1.25% interest. Now, just to clarify what this really means, if you have, let's say, $12,000 in your TD account, you're going to get 1.25% interest on only $2,000 of that, not the whole thing. Now, I'm not sure why they do this, it's kind of weird, but even if this wasn't the case and they just gave you 1.25% on everything that you have in your account, it would still be only half of what EQ is offering you. So really, again, there's no reason to go for this account over the EQ savings account. And really, if I could give some constructive feedback to TD, just give 1.25 interest on everything in the savings account. I'm not sure why you feel the need to exclude the first 10,000. I don't know, maybe there's a good reason for it. I certainly don't understand it, but I don't know. I'm not getting this account anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Now, next up, we have the CIBC eAdvantage savings account, which gets you 1.25% interest, but it'll go up to 2% interest if you increase the balance in your account by at least $200 every single month. Also, you will get an additional 2.25% interest for the first 4 months as a sign-up bonus. So really, for the first 4 months, you can get up to 4.25% interest in total. And then after the first 4 months, as long as you're keeping up with increasing the balance in your savings account, you will still get 2% interest. Now, I gotta say, this one is actually not all that bad. It's very close to EQ and obviously you get a massive sign-up bonus. So this one is definitely all right. I wouldn't blame anyone for going for it. You obviously get a massive sign-up bonus in the beginning, in the first 4 months. But really, after the first 4 months, even though it's still okay with 2%, I would just go for the EQ savings account because, again, you don't have the hassle of making sure you're increasing the balance every single month and you're still getting a higher interest rate anyways with the EQ savings account. So if you really want to open this account just to use it for the first 4 months, then by all means go for it. You're going to get a decent interest rate. I would just not bother. I just stick to the EQ savings account. Also, if you live in Quebec where EQ and Neo Financial are not available as of now, you could just go with this account instead because this one is pretty close and it's still very decent. Now, last but not least, we have the Scotiabank Momentum Plus savings account, and this one is a lot to get through, so just bear with me. Now, the base interest rate on this account is 1.35%, but you get an additional 1.7% for the first 5 months. Also, if you lock in your deposit for a year, which means that you're not taking any of that money out for at least a year, then you will get an additional 1.1% interest for the first 5 months alone, even though you're still locking your money after that. Yeah, I know, it's a bit confusing. Also, you will get an additional 0.1% interest if you get the Scotiabank Ultimate Package, which includes a checking account, this savings account, and of course a credit card. Now, if you are as confused as me with all these different numbers, then let me just simplify and say for the first 5 months, you can get up to 4.25%, and then after that, you can get up to 1.45%. Of course, there's a whole bunch of different conditions that goes into that. I briefly mentioned those, but you know what? I'm just not going to bother. Don't get this account. I'm not going to waste your time. There's a lot of different conditions that go into it. I briefly mentioned some of them here, but you know what? Just don't worry about it. Don't get this account. Get the EQ savings account, which gets you 2.5% interest. And if you live in Quebec where you can't get that account, then just go with the CIBC one. Because again, the CIBC one gets you a higher interest rate after the initial sign-up bonus. And even the sign-up bonus is just a lot clearer. It's not as confusing. Now, last but not least, I just wanted to briefly mention that there's another bank account in Canada that gets you 3% interest, but I've made a full video about that account and why you shouldn't probably go for it. So if you're interested in knowing more about that account, make sure to check out this video right here. But now that's about it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Feel free to follow me on Instagram. I post there regularly, so if you want to be a part of it there, make sure you follow me there. And as always, if you have any questions about any of the stuff that we talked about in this video, make sure to let me know in the comments down below. I always respond to every single question that comes in. And now with all that said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers.